I got this Borescope inspection camera. I got a truck behind me. It has a coolant leak. Let's get in there with the Borescope camera, see if we can find the leak without taking anything apart. To assemble it, we pop the screen out just like this, and then we pop the handle out just like this. On the end of it right here, it just slips together like that, and then we can lock it in place. So let's power it on right here. Hold down power. There we go. All right, so we're gonna go right down in here for the radiator. We have it on, and we're gonna stick it down in there. There you go. You can see that radiator. See if there's any leaks. Let's go all the way to the bottom down in here. See if we can see anything. Nothing so far. I don't see any coolant leaking out. We can move it around. There we go. Go down in there. Not seeing any leaks down in here. You know, we can pull it back out. Look at the radiator. Fins look good. There's no dirt in the radiator. You know, look at all those fins. We can see them in clear detail. All right, so my favorite feature of the Borescope is the wiggler. Right here, you can get in there, twist this knob. You can move it around like this every which way just by twisting the knob. You can do it slowly for fine adjustments, fine tuning, or you can whip it around, get it bent all the way around like that, you know, get in really hard to reach spots without having to reposition the whole Borescope. It's really cool. Look at that. All right, so let's stick it right down in here, see if we can see anything. So I'm feeding it right down in there. Can't see anything, any leaks. There we go. Push it right down in there and see what it's looking like down in there. I'm not seeing any leaks. We can move it around like that. Look at the radiator fins. We can see them really clear. Go over here. Yep, I'm not seeing any moisture down in there. Doesn't look like there's any moisture down in there, like our coolant leak is coming from down in there. But I can move it around just by moving this little knob right here. I can fine tune it and see, yep, there's no water down in there. You can use these things for finding broken wires and chewed up wires too. Works really well for that. Getting up under the dash, you know, on vehicles, trucks like this, cars, whatever you need to. Get up in there and you can see any broken wires without having to take everything apart. All right, so I'm in the truck now. I got it under the dash under here. It's real good to get in hard to reach spots like this up under the dash. We can see the picture is super clear. We can rotate the knob a little bit right here and we can move it around. Take a look at these wires is what I'm trying to look at. There we go. We can see those wires up under the dash without having to take everything apart. Really convenient. You know, if we need to move it around a little more, maybe look right in there, those wires in there, see if there's any damaged wires. We can do like that. So it has the sharpest image when it's really close to something you're looking at. You know, when it's farther away, it's not quite as sharp. It's definitely focused, so it's meant to look up close at objects. So this Borescope did well. I like the screen. You know, when you get video and pictures out of it, it's a little bit more grainy, but when you're looking at the screen, live view, super duper sharp. You can get that little tip with the LEDs on there right up next to what you're looking at. It'll light it up real well with this one. And you know, it just works well for finding leaks around the engine. Get up under the engine. You don't have to crawl all over the place to find your leak. You know, we can find broken wires, you name it. Borescopes for working on mechanic stuff like this are very, very good tools to have. All right, let's take a closer look at it. So here's the case right here. Let's open it up. So if we take a look at the case right here, you can see we have the handle right here. If we open this flap right here, we have the unit right down in there. And then it's got this cord right here, comes across, you know, you can button it up. That way it keeps it nice and secure. Then here is where the wand goes around in the case like that, so you can store it. Then up here, we have some accessories. We got a USB and a screen cleaning kit in here. Then we got a manual right here. Then we also have some other lens pieces right here. And this one's real cool because it's got that knob on there, so you know you can flip it all over the place so that you can see where your leak's coming from. So when we're done using it, we can just pop the screen off like this. Then you can put the screen back in the case like this. Here's the strap, it's in there. It's not going anywhere. We got the handle right here. We can close it up and zip it up, and this thing is good to go for the next time we need an endoscope. All right, that's it for the video. So I found another cool tool. I'm sharing it with y'all. We're gonna keep going through them. We're gonna keep finding good mechanic type tools so that we can get our job done faster, more efficiently. You know, anytime I find a good one, I'm gonna share it with y'all. So if y'all like these tool reviews, don't forget, drop me a huge thumbs up down below. And don't forget to subscribe down there for more truck tips and tool reviews in the future. Check y'all out on the next one. Later.